what's up, Internet?
Hey, guys.
That was me being a dick, and then Blaine joined in, and he was dickerier.
Dickerier?
Dickerier.
Because that's a word.
Hey, guys, it's the TCE Podcast, number 3. Hopefully without audio issues this time, because I'm using the right mic to record.
Spencer knows what he's doing this time?
I still have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm just I'm doing less dumb shit.
That's fair.
Yes.
Hey, that was only our second podcast. It's cool.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's cool to fuck up once in a while.
I think 3 people listen to it.
Hey.
Hold on, in fact, actually, let me see. I'm actually going to check and see how many people.
All right, let's check and see.
Listen to it.
How many people listened to our last podcast?
Yes. Are you just feeling the need to repeat everything I say? Is that what's going on?
Yes, I'm feeling the need to repeat everything you're saying. That's
Fantastic.
exactly what is going on.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Is it fantastic?
It's fantastic.
All right.
All right.
You ass douche.
You ass douche.
You are the ones who are the ball lickers. We will fuck your mothers and watch while you cry like whiny little bitches. Or while you watch and cry like whiny little bitches.
All right.
That was from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Okay, I was assuming it was from one of those Kevin Smith things.
Yeah. It's a good assumption.
You quote it often enough.
Wow, we actually have 8 views on our second
Holy
podcast,
shit.
Right? I don't understand why people would listen to that. But
I don't know.
It was nice of them to do so.
Hey, did you know you can
We have
actually
more?
check viewer
We still have the
retention?
same. I did.
Okay.
I checked. Hold on. In fact,
yeah, check viewer retention on that because I bet it was like 10 minutes.
It's pretty low. I think it might be under 10 minutes on this one.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, analytics. I think.
Yeah, analytics. Looking at them,
analytics.
Them analytics. Analyses.
27 views. Estimated minutes watched. 162. It's 162 divided by 27. Or what would that is that talking about?
I don't
all of
know.
them?
I've never messed with the analytics.
Okay.
I did not get on and mess with it like I told you I was going to that night.
Fair enough.
Because I came home and pretty much played my uke and then.
There we go. Audience retention.
There we go.
100% at 0. And we're going. Let's see.
It just goes down
let me.
from there.
Yeah. It actually says we had 55% audio retention or audience retention at 54 seconds.
Wow. That's impressive.
We dropped 45% within a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sad.
And then I think our absolute low point was at was around 58 minutes and 12 seconds. We have a 0% retention.
I told you guys that was long.
You think that's it?
I think it was a long one.
Or you think we just talked about dicks too much?
I think it was just too long.
Fair enough.
I think that was part of it. I don't think that was all of it.
Yeah, I think we went a little overboard on dicks.
Did we? I didn't even remember.
Maybe I kind of feel like we did. I don't know.
You always go overboard on dicks, though.
I do. I think, we've established the fact that dicks are funny. They're funnier than farts.
Dicks are funny.
They're funnier than farts.
I think farts are funnier than dicks.
Really?
Yes.
Farts?
I see a dick every day. All right.
Right, but mine, I don't get to laugh at mine. Mine's awesome. If I see dicks or talk about other dicks, then I get to laugh at them because they're not as awesome as my dick.
Oh well, I mean, whatever.
Just saying. All right. Anyways, going into the small amount of stuff we've actually got to talk about today.
All right.
Although I feel like it's important that we mention
that we're missing a podcast member.
Yes, we are missing the Chance.
The Chancinator.
Chance.
El Chanso.
He had a friend who came into town and his band was playing, so he wants to go watch his friend's band.
Yeah, I guess they're a hardcore band named something, and they were something Rage, but they put a G in front of the Rage.
Grage.
I'm not sure what that means.
Are you not kidding?
I'm not.
That's how they came up.
I'm not.
I guess that's okay.
Melody was saying that they were probably a hardcore band because of that. Or no, wait, sorry. That wasn't their band. Their band was the one that was listed before that. I can't remember what it was called either.
Okay.
But they were seeing a band with them called Something's Grage. Or Something's G-Rage. I don't know what that means. But I'm going...
They don't like gravity and they're pissed off at Isaac Newton. That's what that means.
Well, fuck.
They all they do is sing hardcore songs about not liking physics.
That sounds bad.
Like, fuck you, Niels Bohr. Ah, wait, is Niels Bohr was an atomic scientist, I think.
Sure.
Nuclear physics is still physics, right?
Yeah.
Technically?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That works.
Anyways, Chance isn't here.
Yeah.
So you get to deal with us.
Just the two of us. Just
The two of us. We can make it if we try.
Ooh, I should learn to play that song too.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Chance. Jeez, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you that
so
bad.
Insulted.
You
Holy
should.
Shit.
No, Blaine is learning to play the ukulele. Ukulele.
If you're really pretentious.
Ukulele.
Ukulele. Just
Yeah.
ukulele.
Yeah, it's a
Or uke.
ukulele.
I'm okay with just the
He's learning to play it, and maybe this week, maybe next week,
Yeah.
maybe the week after, we might have a podcast intro song on the ukulele.
That'll be cool.
And it's going to be awesome.
Yes.
I've already heard the current version of it, demo version, the live acoustic demo version, and it's pretty awesome. So look forward to that.
Pretty proud of it. Anyway, on to the first talking point.
Yes,
What's going on?
I went to something.
Something?
Yeah, it was like a variety show kind of thing for my grandparents recently.
Like for them, like you went, like...
No, not for them as their proxy.
Okay.
For them, like, they wanted to come. It was like a fundraiser thing, so I went.
Alright, I gotcha.
To support their fraternal organization that they're associated with. You know, like the Shriners and shit.
Yeah.
But it's not the Shriners.
Okay, I gotcha. I understand what you're saying.
Got it. And somehow, I don't remember exactly what it was. Maybe they were talking about, like, Star Wars or something. Oh, no, they were talking about The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
And my mom asked me about The Wizard of Oz. You know, the new movie coming out.
Yeah.
It's not The Wizard of Oz. It's
Right.
The Wonderful Wizard.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
The Great and Powerful Oz?
Oz the Great and Powerful.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yes.
Okay. She was asking me if it was like a sequel or something, or a remake, and I was like, no, apparently it's actually a prequel.
Yeah.
But then that got me started thinking, you know, exactly what is a prequel and what is a sequel. And I was going to get your guys' ideas on that. Well, see, and here's what I mean.
Okay. Because I know, I know in my mind what a prequel and what a sequel is.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, well, what I mean is, you know, Star Wars, let's go with Star Wars, episode 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Episode 4 was the first.
Right.
Episode 5 was a sequel.
Right.
Episode 6 was a sequel of 5.
Right.
Then they came out with Star Wars episode 1, 2, and 3.
Correct.
It is okay to say that those are prequels of the original trilogy. It is not okay to say that the original trilogy is a sequel, because while it does take place after the fact, it came out before it.
Well, and it's not that it's a sequel, it's the original. Like, it's the original material. It's like if you take a book and you set it in today's time.
Yes.
And you put a book and you
write another book
and you set it before, like, yesterday. So you write a book about today, and then you write a book tomorrow about yesterday, about the day before the book that you just wrote.
Yeah. That is a prequel.
That is a prequel, but the original is not a sequel to the prequel, because there has to be something for there to be an addendum to, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense? Is that correct wording? Verbiage? Wording? Verbiage? Something like that?
Maybe in certain contexts that would be correct. Yeah,
but there has to be some kind of. There has to be some kind of. It's just like
there's got to be something there to add on to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like. Well, here's a better example, really, than that. The Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
The original movie, and then they had Red Dragon and Hannibal.
Yeah.
One of those was a prequel. I can't remember which one. I think it was Hannibal.
Red Dragon would have been a sequel. I think
Red Dragon
Hannibal
was
a prequel.
Yeah, Right. I'm not talking about Hannibal Rising, the shitty half-ass movie that came out like 10 years after.
But the Silence of the Lambs is not a sequel, is what you're saying.
Right. Okay. It's the original movie.
And that's the way I was thinking about it. I just wanted to make sure that, at least you and I were on the same page.
Yes. I think Chance would also agree. I don't think he would argue about that.
But you know what's weird is there are probably some people in this world who think that episodes 4, 5, and 6 are sequels.
Mostly because they're younger, I would say.
But they'd have to be really young.
They'd have to be really young and not understand
and not understand the difference in film quality.
Right. They might say something like that to like a friend or whatever. I wouldn't even say it's a thing like
computer.
I wouldn't even say it's like a film quality thing. I would just say it's like somebody not understanding like that. Hey, these movies, though they're set after, they're not actually sequels because they are what the prequels are based off of. And the 3 new movies that are coming out in the next however many years, 10 years is I guess a safe bet.
Okay.
They won't be. I mean, any movies that I don't know how to say it. They're going to be sequels because they come out. They're based off of the source material of 4, 5, and 6, and they'll be 7, 8, and 9.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Anyway, I just thought I would elaborate a little bit more.
Okay.
Not that anybody's stupid, but
no. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
I just for some reason that thought popped into my head, and I was like, I wonder if that's the way everybody thinks, or.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The original source material is the beginning point.
Right. It's like if you drove from here to Tulsa, and then went back to here, and then on to Kansas City or something like that. I guess. Like your original source point was here.
Yeah.
And then you went to Tulsa, and then you went to Kansas City.
Okay.
I guess. That was a weird analogy. That was a weirder analogy than.
But then 7, 8, and 9 aren't sequels of 1, 2, and 3.
No, because they're not. I mean, they're loosely. I'm sure they'll be at least loosely based.
They'll have a little stuff from them, sure.
Exactly.
Since episodes 4, 5, and 6 really didn't have too much from the. Did they add Gungans in or anything in 4, 5, and 6? I didn't.
I don't think so.
We really do need to do some sort of riff tracks for that, and maybe Angel Beats and other shit. I think Angel Beats would probably just be us crying through half of it.
Probably. Or repeating the exact same thing they just said. Like, I don't know.
I kiss you!
Yes.
Especially TK's lines. I fucking love TK.
TK is awesome. That and being rocketed into the ceiling. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That shit is awesome. If you haven't watched Angel Beats, I highly recommend it.
Angel Beats is absolutely amazing.
Cry.
At least I don't think I ever actually cried. I think I did start tearing up some though.
I definitely teared up.
It was so sad.
Have a box of tissues at the ready if you are even slightly emotional.
It's so good.
If you have a soul.
So good, yeah. It's fantastic.
My soul, your beats.
Oh, I want to listen to that song so much now.
Such a good song.
Anyways, speaking of songs, thank you. You tossed us right into our next little talking point I came up with.
Awesome. I'm good. Can't even read that from here.
That's okay, because I can.
Good. Glad you can read.
What do you, I was thinking the other day about, I think this was actually the same night, and I don't even know what made it pop into my head. Maybe I was listening to blues or something like that. Oh, you know what it may have been? I may have been talking about, I think his name's Randy Johnson. Okay. There's a blues guitarist, an African-American blues guitarist, back at the, around the turn of the century, who supposedly sold his soul to the devil.
The one that had the supernatural episode based on
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yes. I know
and the one who was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yes. I know who you're talking about.
Yep. And, whatever his name actually was, I said, I think it's...
Something Johnson.
Yeah.
You're right about the Johnson. I don't think Randy was his first name.
I don't know.
Whatever.
But, even the recordings of his music...
Yeah.
It's rare that we even have those. And there are a lot of other things in the world, like different styles of music, different recordings that we will never get to hear. And one of the premier examples, I think, is Zydeco, like the original form of Zydeco, when it first originated.
Zydeco.
If I remember right off the top of my head, maybe I shouldn't do this off the top of my head.
His name was Robert Johnson, by the way.
Thank you. I knew it was R. Johnson.
Yeah.
That was a good Supernatural episode, too. I like Supernatural.
Supernatural is a great show. Also, if you haven't seen
Do you see the Harlem Shake?
No, I haven't.
The Supernatural Harlem Shake?
No, I haven't.
It's fucking hilarious.
Is it?
Hold on. I'm going to look this up, and we're going to take a short break, and we're going to watch the Supernatural Harlem Shake.
Okay.
So, we'll be right back. Intermission. Awesome.
Fucked up. That's good.
And we just watched the Supernatural Harlem Shake.
That was great.
That was good stuff.
I liked it.
It was funny.
I liked it on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribed.
Yep.
Favorited.
Just like you should do to our podcast. And all our stuff.
Videos.
Yes.
Because they're awesome.
They are fantastic.
Except for the last podcast.
Does that qualify as a shameless plug or just like a shameful plug? Should we be ashamed of that plug?
Well, we're plugging it on our own
thing,
podcast,
so no, not really. Okay.
I don't even think it qualifies as a plug.
Fair enough. We're just talking about what we're doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, that works.
We'll remind you later too, as well. If you didn't already.
Yeah, going back to what we were talking about actually before the thing. Talking about a style of music that hasn't existed for quite a while since actually I guess it does still kind of exist in an altered form.
Okay.
It's a style of music called Zydeco. And essentially, it consists of French fiddle tunes, Irish Celtic fiddle tunes, German button accordion, Latin rhythms, and Appalachian styles.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it was like a blend of Cajun music and blues and rhythm and blues.
Okay. Interesting.
And I've always wanted to hear like an example of like original Zydeco. And you can find some Zydeco online now.
Yeah.
Like I first heard of Zydeco years ago when the internet was not a huge place.
Right. And
I couldn't really find anything.
Right. There was no YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And now, you can find some Zydeco stuff, but, have you ever thought about how much music and, how many, like, plays and things have been lost throughout the centuries?
Yeah. That's
like, true. I think recently, like, within the last 5 or 6 years, maybe it's been longer than that, they found, like, some original, like, ancient Roman or Greek or some shit. Like, they found, like, instruments that they would have used and, like, some sort of sheet music. They tried to piece together what that would have sounded like. That's just interesting to me.
It is interesting.
I don't know. It just seems like...
You're really into that, though.
Like, I am.
You're big into history, like archaeology kind of stuff.
I am big into that kind of stuff.
And new finds that they find and shit like that.
I think about that shit all the time. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah. You think about it more than the average person would,
Probably.
I assume.
Probably.
Like, I've never really thought about it. Like, but you're right. Like,
yeah.
And on top of that, like, what did an original Bach piece sound like? Or a Mozart piece? Or something like what did it sound like at the time?
Exactly.
As opposed to now when everything's so refined.
Exactly.
Like everything is so well tuned and refined and perfect. What did it sound like back then? When, not that it wasn't, like, perfect and refined for the time.
Yeah.
Like...
When you think about how little we actually know about, what used to be.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't know.
That is crazy.
That was just a random thought that popped in my head the other day. Actually, I don't think it was random. I think that was, like I said, relating to Robert Johnson.
Yeah. I'm sure you had some kind of train of thought behind it. But yeah, you're right.
But, that even goes for today, too. Like, how long will people in the future be able to listen to our podcast? How long is YouTube going to be around?
Yeah.
If you think about the internet, because obviously I was using it probably before you were.
Yeah.
And you've been using it longer than a lot of people who might be listening to this.
Yeah.
You know how much shit I have seen that is not on the internet anymore? That you just can't find anymore?
Yeah.
And eventually,
for sure,
who knows how long Facebook or YouTube or anything's going to last.
Right.
It's
crazy.
It's nuts.
Some of that shit just might be gone forever.
Could be at some point.
Well, and on top of that, what about, original, slave chanties? What are they,
Oh, the working songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about...
Camptown Ladies, I think, was one of those.
But, what about,
Swing Low, Sweet Chariot?
What ones that never caught on? Ones that never got popular?
That's a good point. I don't think I've ever I've thought of that.
Because,
I'm sure there are plenty that do exist that I just don't know about.
Absolutely. But what about the ones that, obviously there were larger cotton farms or what have you, farms of various whatever kinds that had slaves, and there were smaller ones. So the larger ones, I assume, all sang the more popular ones or something like that, or whatever, when they were working in the fields. But what about the ones that were smaller?
Yeah.
Did they have different ones than the larger ones, or did everybody have the same? Because, logic would stand to reason there's not everybody saying the same thing all the time.
Yeah. And I'm sure sometimes they sang actual, they might have sang, actual African dance songs.
Oh, sure.
Because, all sorts of old tribes used to have, dances and chants, dancing around the fire and shit. Even, Native Americans did it. I'm sure Celtic peoples have done it.
Sure.
Wonder how many of those songs have been lost to time.
If it hasn't been written down somewhere, and even if it has.
Beowulf, it's a fucking wonder that Beowulf has survived to actually be recorded.
Right?
In history. Isn't that thousands of years old?
The Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly.
Those things are so...
even Dante's Inferno, that's only the 1200s, but... and anything that survived the fucking Dark Ages is a fucking wonder.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There you go, and that's why we need religion, so that when the world descends into darkness and anarchy, there are still people to record and keep track of all our previous accomplishments. As much as they can, anyway.
Yeah.
Because religion is the reason those texts survive, for the most part.
Sure.
Is, religious schools.
Sure.
With libraries.
Well...
At least that's what I was told in history class.
I don't know. A lot of that seems to,
I think that's what I was told in history class.
I don't know. Nowadays, it seems like a lot of that stuff would be left behind if the world were to suddenly descend into a dark period. Maybe some people might keep a copy of the Iliad and the Odyssey, or Beowulf, or Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
But at least, the first three would probably be lost, because a bunch of Christians or whatever, whoever was in power, would be well, do we really, if they're fundies anyway, do we really need that? It's not a religious text.
Fair enough.
At least to us. And I'm not saying that all Christians hate everything that doesn't have to do with their religion.
Absolutely.
But there are certainly those who think that anything that doesn't have anything that isn't a religious text should either not exist or doesn't matter or should be burned or whatever. There are certainly those people. And I don't know. I'm not saying that there are very many of them.
Was that a badger?
Yes. I would say that's probably a honey badger.
He doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't give a fuck.
Futurama's on TV right now.
Yeah.
And Fry just had his pants stolen by what we are thinking is a honey badger. He's covered in honey, I think, so...
I don't think that's honey.
No?
I think it was
Grease?
like a lube.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, look, ancient cave paintings.
Yes.
Relating to archaeology.
Anyway. Yeah, that's...
Full circle.
Neat. But yeah, that's kind of cool, to think about that. It's kind of scary almost, too.
Yeah. Wonder how long people will be listening to the cheerleader effect.
Well, and then again, you have to think about it like this. As soon as the average person dies, 99, if not 100% of what they ever did or said or will do will be lost to time.
Yeah, and see, that has occurred to me before with, I watched Rooster Teeth, a lot of their stuff.
Yeah.
I love Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter.
Yeah.
And the thought has occurred to me before, when the guys who made the company pass away or just get tired of doing it, how long is Rooster Teeth going to last? They've been around for 10 years now. Yeah. I hope they were around till I'm fucking dead. And after that, for like another 80 years or some shit. But who knows, really, how long they could be around.
Unless their kids take on, or unless they get some really cool people to do it.
Yeah.
It'll be a coin toss whether it actually happens or not. Probably less than a coin toss. You've probably got less than 10% chance that it'll be around for the next even 20 years.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I like about Rooster Teeth is they hire a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Like if their fans are doing cool stuff, they'll say, "Hey, we want you to work for us."
Right.
And that's awesome because they can keep doing that. I guess in perpetuity might be the phrase I'm looking for.
Yeah.
50 years down the line, they'll have young fans. And they'll just be like, "Hey, we like what you're doing."
Ad nauseum?
Yeah. Ad nauseum. Thank you. In perpetuity.
Hey, I'm just thinking of other ad infinitum. Other ways to basically say as long as it will continue.
Yeah, as long as somebody's got an interest in it and it's making them some money and whatever else, And that's the great thing about internet culture. If the internet really cares about something, it will create stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like there's or I guess there isn't now. I guess there was a group of My Little Pony fans who were making a fighting game called Fighting is Magic.
Huh.
And I saw one of the beta builds, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like every other fighting game where the CPU is a fucking corner punching little bitch, but.
Awesome.
Or they use just fucking nothing but those, projectile moves.
Yeah.
I fucking hate those.
Yeah.
But, other than that, it was pretty solid. I kind of enjoyed it. And they had kind of, unique fighting moves for each pony.
Uh-huh.
But, they got slapped with a cease and desist. Of course.
Yeah.
Because, it's not like the fans are what has made My Little Pony popular. It's not like the bronies are the ones who have actually made that popular.
Yeah,
do they think that little girls are the reason My Little Pony's still on the air? Because if they do, they are sorely mistaken.
Yeah, I highly agree with that. I'm not saying that they
maybe they're
be
not
on air.
Yeah.
But
I think bronies are really helping it out.
There's a huge following, and I'm not talking like a small cult following I don't know, some small movie that some obscure movie that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like a Rocky Horror type cult following.
Yeah, exactly.
Or more or larger,
hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of bronies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say I'm a brony, but I would watch if the show was on at accessible times. I would watch it.
Yeah,
as it stands, it's on at 9 in the morning and 9 to 10 or something like that in the morning, and I just don't wake up like that on Saturday mornings.
Yeah,
or on regular days. I'm not, or I'm gone by then.
It is on really early.
It's on at weird times, and I mean it makes sense because that's when kids will watch it. But whatever.
Well, we're also in the fucking Midwest. I mean, I'm sure on the East Coast it's on a couple hours later.
No, on the East Coast it would be on at the same time. I'm watching it on satellite.
Okay.
On the hub, on the actual channel that it is broadcast on regularly.
Yeah.
It comes on at it might come on earlier. I'm wanting to say it comes on at 7 or not 7, 8 or 9
a.m.
and lasts for an hour. They play 2 episodes. And at that time I am either getting ready for work or I am leaving for work. Whatever time it is, I don't have time to watch it.
Fair enough.
I also don't really have a drive to get up and watch it in the morning. I could watch it on YouTube or whatever. I could watch it on the internet if I needed to or if I wanted to. But whenever it's on, if I'm up, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I have no shame. It's a decent show. But yeah, I don't think that little girls are the driving force behind.
Yeah.
Behind that, and the same with Adventure Time, for that matter, and regular show.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that kids are the driving force behind that.
Not Adventure Time. Fuck no.
Definitely.
I feel like it. I feel like they are.
I would say
maybe I'm
regular
wrong.
show even less, because regular show is way geared more towards adults. I would think. Like, the way I see it, it is way geared more towards adults and not kids.
I really like that about cartoons these days. They're like the humor is stuff that adults can really appreciate.
These days, I disagree with these days part.
Really?
Well, think about Rocko's Modern Life.
Okay, yeah, Rocko's Modern Life was fucking fantastic. Fair enough.
Doug has stood the test of time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Doug is still a good show.
I haven't watched Doug in ages,
it's about a middle schooler, but like
Tiny Toon Adventures kind of holds up.
Really?
But, yeah, a little bit.
Just kinda? I really like Tiny Toon Adventures.
I watched it a few years ago. It was on, and I kind of enjoyed it because, like, hey, I remember this, but at the same time, I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah. What was the other show? Oh, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah, that's just a good fucking show.
That show was awesome.
Salute Your Shorts, I think, stands the test of time.
And Are You Afraid of the Dark would scare the shit out of the average kid now.
Yeah.
Because they aren't exposed to anything like that, really.
No, they really aren't, are they?
I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe
do you think they could do a reboot of Are You Afraid of the Dark and it be successful?
I don't think they could do an original version of Are You Afraid of the Dark. Like, not that Are You Afraid of the Dark was completely original in its...
was it not?
Original iteration? No.
Kind of like... Was it kind of like
it had,
Twilight Zone or something?
They had some original stuff, I'm sure. But not everything they did was original is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the scariest episode I think I remember was the one where... some kid had drowned in the pool.
Yeah.
And his ghost was still haunting the pool.
Yeah.
That scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, that's just kind of... That's basically Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Friday the 13th or any other kind of ghost story, really. Like, it's not an original thing.
But that was one of my favorite episodes. That's one of the few I remember.
Yeah.
That and the one where the old guy, like, they went to the bed and breakfast and the young kid was running it. And he had a crush on the girl.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't.
Oh my god, that was awesome! Like, what happened was, guests would come stay in the hotel.
Yeah.
And this guy would leech off their life energy, and so they would get older and older, and he would stay young.
That's crazy.
It was fucking awesome. Like, that was one of the coolest.
That's kind of cool.
The coolest stories I remember from that.
I don't know between that and Goosebumps, which Goosebumps is still going on. Goosebumps still has a show on the Hub.
Actually. Do they really?
Yeah.
Are they new episodes or are they old episodes?
I don't... They're probably based off of books that he's written.
Does he still write those, R.L. Stine?
I don't know if R.L. Stine still writes or not. I really don't.
Man, I used to have one of the books from something called the Cataluna Chronicles.
Oh, yeah?
And it was far more adult than Goosebumps.
Yeah. I knew
it was actually kind of like maybe late teens, but, it was actually death and stuff like that.
Well, but still far more adult.
Yeah, it was really awesome, actually. Yeah. Cataluna Chronicles, if you can find it, look it up, buy it on paperback. It was fucking great.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I used to really like R.L. Stine.
I read the shit out of Goosebumps.
Yeah, Goosebumps were really good.
And when they came out with the Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure books, I pretty much shit myself.
I had a couple of those.
I used to love Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Choose Your Own Adventures were pretty cool. I actually have one on my iPad.
I was the kind of guy who tended to... always pick the things that would, end your story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
wasn't fantastic at them.
You were like, first page. All right, let's do this. Shit. I died already.
Yeah. No, I wasn't quite that bad, but... Well, actually, sometimes it might have been. I don't know if that's possible.
I don't know. I've got a zombie one on my iPad, and...
You told me about that. Is it good?
It's pretty good. Like, the writing is pretty good.
Does it have, jump to page, and you can, push the button and it jumps to the page? That's awesome!
Yeah, you don't have to flip and see and spoil some endings for you or whatever.
I'm not a huge fan of, e-readers and stuff. I like having a physical copy of a book. I think that is neat. Yeah. I have books from the 1800s.
Yeah, sure.
I just like I said, I'm into archaeology and all that old shit.
Well, and also...
I like history.
There's something to be said for having a physical copy of a book.
Yeah.
There really is. Nothing beats the feeling of holding a book.
Yeah, and flipping through it, exactly. But that is a neat function that you could not do with those.
Well, also, I have a couple PDFs for some RPG tabletop games.
Okay.
On my iPad, and if you hit like there'll be keywords or whatever, and if you hit one of those keywords, it'll jump to that page.
Yeah, just like any other sort of hypertext link.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it's kind of neat. Like if I was reading something and it was like halflings have this blah 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 blah, and then it would have like a word in there, and if you wanted more information or whatever, you could hit that word and it would be blue, like a hyperlink, and you would jump to the page. And I was like, that's really neat.
That's smart.
Yeah,
that's fucking really cool.
That's just a really cool
use of that technology.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Like I said, I understand why people want to have physical copies of books.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
you can see the value of an e-reader.
An e-reader is so handy, and
you can fit like 8,000 or how many books and magazines.
I mean, depending on the size, you could fit however many books you wanted to read at any one time, pretty much, on it. And it's just a really neat technology. Also, it's a little bit cheaper. It's a little bit more environment friendly. There are perks to both. I'm not saying that e-readers are the way to go. I really like my iPad for reading books or whatever, but I also see the merit of having a physical book, because I mean, again, nothing beats the feel of a book in your hands.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm a hardback person. I'm
I
not a big
like
fan of
hardbacks.
paperbacks, because paperbacks
I
tend to bend them and whatever happens to them, pages get ripped out.
Yeah,
the cover gets ripped off.
I'm sure every time I've applied for a job, that drives people nuts, because apparently I don't know how to hold things gingerly with my fingers.
Yeah,
they just end up with a very clear mark where I was holding it with my fingers.
Right. I had that same problem, but I also have I do shit with my hands a lot. Like whenever I play Magic, I'll flip through cards. I just flip my cards. I just flick them constantly. And it's not like a nervous habit. Like I'm giving a tell or anything like that.
Yeah, you're just thinking.
I'm just like sitting there thinking and doing stuff with my hands, or I'm waiting or whatever. And it's not like I'm being impatient. It's just like I need something to do with my hands. I've got something in my hands. I want to do it.
Yeah, like you gave me your iPhone 3.
Yeah.
Your old iPhone 3G, and I found a little switch on there that turns on and off the silent function, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
I'm about to wear that damn switch out, man, because I'm just sitting there just flicking it back and forth, feeling it vibrate in my hands. I'm just funny. Like flip, 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 flip.
I do that sometimes. I've done that with all my phones. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I always catch myself doing it. And I'm like, wait, I'm gonna break this thing.
Yeah. Or when I'm holding like a TV remote in my hand, because I used to skateboard.
Yeah.
I will sit there and do like kick flips and 360 flips and stuff with them.
I used to do that all
constantly.
The time. I also do this number where I take my phone, which I just dropped on the floor.
Yeah.
And I do this. Like I just flip it back and forth. Like I just
that's cool. I've never done that.
I just slide it through my hand. My friend taught me how to do it. Well, he didn't really teach me, but I saw him doing it one day and I was like, how the hell are you doing that? And I just started doing it. It was just like this thing where I flip my phone back and forth in my hands. And it's not really, I guess it's a nervous habit. You could call it that. Also the pin twisting thing. I wish I knew how to do that.
That thing, yeah. I had a buddy who did that in high school, and he wouldn't tell me how to do it. And then I worked with a dude at a call center. Yeah. And he taught me how to do that. It's like the debate club thing.
Right.
Yeah, I now do it all the fucking time. It's awesome. Is that Chance?
Yeah, it is.
Did he call or text? Or neither?
He was calling me.
Okay. Yeah, hold on. Let's take a quick break and see what Chance wants.
Yeah.
That sissy. All right. Oh, intermission. It is the funnest time because you don't have to listen to our stupid shit. Yeah. Hey, we're back. Lane's talking. What's up?
Yep. We're back. Who said we're whack?
Who said we're whack? You said we're back.
Next talking point.
Yeah, were we done with that?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah,
fair enough.
I don't remember exactly what we were talking about.
I don't either.
So, anyway.
Fair enough.
What's next? Next on the docket. Itinerary. Docket.
Yeah.
Dockerary.
Sure.
Next on the dockerary. I'm just making up words now. Yeah?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm chewing on a piece of chocolate.
Yeah, figures.
What's
chewing on something.
A
penis.
It's not a dick.
It's a penis.
Not a dick.
It's totally a dick.
Not a dick.
Dick jokes.
Anyways. When I was at the fundraiser thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
For my grandparents.
Yeah. I know.
They had a program. Because it was like a little variety show.
Yeah.
Skit thing.
They had a program.
And I started doing what I used to do when I was in school. And I got bored. Or, anywhere where I got bored, really, and there was something for me to draw on.
Yeah.
I took out my pen.
Uh-huh.
And I would color in the holes, the empty parts of, like, A's and B's and D's and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did that.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I used to do when I was bored in school. And, other than that, or using, like, my pen as a tech deck or something, like a little skateboard, and doing, like, ollies and 360 flips with it.
Yeah.
What did you do when you were bored in school?
What did I do when I was bored in school?
I figured it'd be an interesting topic.
What did I do when I was... Well, in, like, 7th or 8th grade, I can't remember which year it was, I used to skate as well.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy in there with me in this computer class that we had. It was like computer applications or something like that.
Okay.
Just a little shitty ass class. We had tech decks, and we would bring them in, and we would do like grinds and shit on the keyboards, and we would just dick around. Another thing we would do in that same class actually was we would unlace our shoes and then relace them, just like in a different form, just so we didn't have to tie our shoes.
Okay.
They were skate shoes with big ass fucking tongues.
Fair enough. Yeah. As soon as I learned how to do bar lacing, I bar lace my shoes and I knot them right at the end, so I don't have to lace them up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's nice.
Yeah. As soon as I learned how to do that, I did that with pretty much all my shoes, so I never had to tie my shoes again. And now I wear shoes without laces. Because fuck laces.
Yeah, I tend to like tie my shoes and then
not unlace
I slip them on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's easier and
yeah,
it's a great way to stay in shape.
That's funny.
Another thing I did in school, also in like 7th or 8th grade, was the first time I got an MP3 player. So in the winter months, right?
I still had a CD player all the way through high school.
I had one up until that time. It was like it was seriously like the shittiest little MP3 player you could possibly have gotten. Yeah. It was like 256 megabytes of memory.
Yeah.
And it took like an SD card in the bottom of it. And anyway, me and my friend got one of those. They were little Rio, I think, was the brand that they were.
That sounds familiar.
We would take those in science class, and during the winter months, when we were all wearing hoodies, we would like put them in our hoodies and lace the earbuds up through our hoodie, and put them in our ear and listen to music while we were in class.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was neat.
I still remember, in 11th or 12th grade, something like that. I think it was 11th grade. I think that was when I took chemistry. I rode the bus. I didn't get my driver's license until I was like 20.
Right.
Or something. So I rode the bus or, rode to school with a friend.
That was probably a little more common than in your area, though.
Not necessarily.
Not really?
Nah. Yeah. Well, there were plenty of people who rode the bus.
Yeah.
So I guess it was more common than I like to believe.
I don't know. We pretty much made fun of anybody who didn't get their license at 16. Specifically, this one family who none of their kids, like even though they had the money and a car, They didn't get their license until they were like 20, 21.
Why?
Because they're fucking lazy.
Okay,
I still know a guy
enough.
who doesn't have his license because he claims his eyes are too bad to drive. Like, his eyes really aren't that bad.
Also, there's glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are a thing.
Yeah, he claims he couldn't drive because his vision
my
is
eyes
too
are
bad.
shit too, but
You still drive. Just
yeah,
fine.
glasses.
Just fine at that. Like,
yeah.
You're a fine driver. But I don't know. This kid just is a fucking leech on the world.
Really?
He's like 26, I think now. 26 or 27. Still doesn't have his license. He got married last year. He smells like shit 90% of the time.
Oh, is that the guy you've told me about before?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sure I have talked about him before. He smells like shit about 90% of the time. He got married to someone who has who actually can't smell.
Kind of like you.
Kind of like me, only she has a diagnosed problem, whereas mine is undiagnosed. Like, there's some kind of, disorder where you actually can't smell.
Okay.
I'm sure I've got that as well, but...
You've never been to the doctor and they haven't said, hey, you can't smell shit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they, but his wife drives him literally everywhere. Or he has a friend that drives him everywhere. One of our mutual friends.
Fair enough.
And I don't know. The kid is just really annoying, and I don't know.
Is he arrogant or something? Or?
Super arrogant about everything.
Yeah, they have that saying about, fat chicks, how, if you're a fat chick, and I'm sorry if I'm offending fat chicks, they say if you're a fat chick, you can't afford not to suck a dick.
Yeah.
What do you have to offer? Or, if you're not attractive, you can't be bitchy and ugly.
Right.
And, it's kind of if you're not an attractive person, if you smell like shit all the time.
Also, this kid doesn't brush his teeth. He looks like he's been smoking for 20 years.
Jeez.
And his teeth look like absolute shit. They're yellow. They've got black shit all over them.
Fuck.
They're disgusting. He never brushes his teeth. Ever. Sorry. Just thought I would throw that in.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I would like to...
Yeah, but I mean,
paint a picture about how disgusting this kid is.
Fair enough. But it occurs to me, if you've got all these issues and you're a dick too,
right?
What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. His name is also Dick.
Is it really?
Well, he doesn't go by Dick, but
his name is Richard.
Yes. I don't know. His name is, well, I won't say his name, but yeah. His name is very funny if you shorten it to Dick. It's kind of funny. Anyway.
Sure.
Sorry. Because his last name adds on to that.
It'd be funny if his last name was Les. Dick Les.
Dick Les.
I'm going to meet someone named Richard Les. We looked in the phone book one time, and there was somebody in the phone book named R. Head. And we were hoping it was Richard. And we wanted to call him and go, is Dick Head there? That would have been fucking great.
Huh. Only thing better could have been Road.
How bad would your parents have to hate you to name you Dick Head? Or maybe they just didn't think about it.
These people have to think about the names that they're giving their kids.
Yeah.
If they're that terrible.
Yeah, Lewis Black, does the, bit about...
Yeah, the Absidae.
Absidae or Shithead.
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 Yeah, Shithead. Your kid's name is Shithead.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's one of my favorite bits of his on that album.
It's fucking great.
That was great.
What was that, live at Carnegie Hall?
Yeah.
That was good.
Carnegie Hall. That and the bit where he talks about the gay people. The gay what do they call them? Oh shit. The gay banditos.
Banditos, yes.
That's what he calls
That's
them.
what it
The gay banditos who ride into white suburban neighborhoods and bust in the door while these people are having dinner, and then they proceed to fuck each other in the ass. And yet another family is ruined. That's just ridiculous. I love it. I love Lewis Black.
My aunt let me borrow one of his books today, actually.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm going to read that and see what it's like.
I bet that's a great book.
I read a small excerpt from it, and He was bitching about how he got shitty ass presents for Hanukkah, like including socks. He's like, and then on the next day, I got socks so I could clean up, after I got the top out of my ass. Like, I guess he shoved the dreidel in his ass one of the previous days. I'll have to look at it, but I like Lewis Black.
He's just comedy gold.
And on the front cover, one of the little review things they have, it's Jon Stewart, and it says the only person I know who can actually yell in print. And I was like, yeah, it's all he like. There was an entire thing where it's all caps lock, and I'm like, there we go. Yep. I read it in his screaming voice.
Yep.
That's great.
I love Lewis Black. He's great. He's a great man.
Very funny dude. We got way off topic of what we did in school, but that's all right.
That's all right. What else did you do anything when you were bored in school besides coloring the holes in letters?
I used to draw.
Yeah?
Like anime stuff.
I never drew. I was never a good artist.
It's one of those things where, like, the more you do it, the better you get at it, just from...
And I didn't believe that.
Maybe muscle memory, I guess.
Until I started doing it.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know, some of my first... I can sketch fairly well, but, like, some rough sketches, but I can't do, like I can't sit down and draw a line and add some more lines to it and make it look good. It has to be a rough sketch at first.
Yeah, that's how I am. I can't draw one straight line down. I draw, like, tons of little lines that make a big line.
Yeah, and it kind of looks straight-ish. And
yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's erase some of the extra lines.
I don't even do that. I just add more to it until it does look like one line.
That's just what I do whenever I'm done with a drawing. I kind of go back and erase extra lines that are
fair enough. Yeah, I suppose I've done that as well, yeah.
And make it look weird.
I'm glad I'm not the only person who does that.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about our personalities that makes us draw like that? I'm sure not everyone draws like that.
I'm positive not everyone draws like that.
Yeah, I always wondered why I did that.
I don't know.
That's why I can't draw in pen.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it looks shitty in pen. I have a couple of sketches of, like, even BMO that I've done in pen, and they just look like ass. They look like somebody's ass.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got a rectangle to look like somebody's ass, but I did it.
Well, kind of looks like an asterisk sometimes. I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
you think a Jewish person's asshole looks like the Star of David? Probably not, huh?
Probably not.
I don't know why that just popped into my head, but it did, so alright.
You think a Christian person's asshole looks like a cross?
Probably not. I don't think mine looks like a cross. I haven't taken a picture of it recently, but I will take a look next time I'm in there.
Catholics shit out like...
I probably won't take a look next time I'm in the bathroom.
Catholics actually shit out like a cross with Jesus on it.
With rosary beads on it, yeah.
The rosary beads hanging around it. Or maybe their shit just looks like rosary beads. I don't know.
There you go. Well, we're talking about asshole shapes, not shit. Now you're delving into something different.
Yeah.
How bad would it hurt to poop a cross?
Those are probably just the anal beads they used last night.
That doesn't... Ow.
I don't know. I'm thinking more of it comes out like that. Like it's shaped like that. And then
kind of like Play-Doh?
Yeah. Like a thing.
This is getting really gross, man. Alright, we need to stop talking about this. Where to next? Yeah, what else did I do in school? I used my pen as a tech deck. Like, I would hold, like my textbook open, and I'd jump my pen on there like a quarter pipe or something and go back down.
I did that too.
I also had real tech decks.
Yeah, I had real tech decks. I also like to use the little tools they came with and take them apart and put them back together and make them all cool. Yeah, like a wheel of
I had
different colors:
red, white, red.
Yeah, shit like that. Which I guess is just actual shit that people do with their skateboards.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
but I don't know. I did shit like that.
I never really did that with my skateboard.
I never did either. I knew people who had different trucks.
Yeah.
Which seemed kind of weird to me, but whatever. People had some wheels that were worn down-ish.
Yeah, well, I think at one point I might have had some Lucky hardware. Yeah. And Lucky has the one green screw, yeah. Yep. I always liked that.
Where did you put it? Did you put it on your tail or on your
I think I had front right.
Front right, yeah. I think mine was on front left, actually. I don't know.
Well, I skated Goofy Foot, too.
Fair enough.
Do you skate regular?
Yeah.
There you go.
I skated regular. Yeah. I don't know.
If I had the money, I'd build my own skateboard again. I wouldn't do a whole lot with it, but...
Yeah.
I just like, what was my usual setup? I think for a while, like, I would always, choose, like, different brands.
Yeah.
I really started liking Alien Workshop. It had a lot of concave and a lot of pop.
Fair enough, yeah.
And I was a street skater. I did 360 flips and all sorts of stuff. I needed that, that concave.
That little bit extra.
Yep. I had Black Magic grip tape.
Yeah.
Because that was the best. I would usually get Duke's short stacks for risers, which was risers and shock pads combined in one.
Right.
I used to get I think Shorty's hardware. Usually.
Yeah.
I used to get China Bones red bearings, I think, usually.
Fair enough.
They weren't Bone Swiss, but they were still Bones, and they were really good bearings. I used to get Spitfire wheels. I like the Spitfire Classics.
Okay.
The Classics looked really good. They kind of gave it spinning circular shape, because they were like white. They were like gray and black kind of checkers that kind of spun around and looked really cool.
I gotcha.
And I think that covers the whole board. I think. I think I usually used to go with what trucks? Either Grind King or Venture. Usually, I think. Yeah,
I had a pair of Indies that I really liked.
And I skated with my trucks really loose. Like I just barely turn, and my board would just go. And people drove
about mid.
People were nuts when they drove my board.
Yeah,
drove my board when they rode my board. They were like, "Man, I don't know how you fucking do that."
Yeah, mine were about mid. My trucks were probably about mid tightness. Like I didn't like to like feel a slight breeze and then go straight to the right.
Yeah,
but I did like to be able to lean and go the way I wanted to go without any pressure or any real pressure.
Yeah, I've skated on some very tight boards. And you know what I think that was is the fact that they weighed more than I did. Like, I didn't weigh much.
Right.
So I couldn't have a super tight trucks.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I never
thought about that.
I had a lot. I sampled a lot of different stuff.
Well, I did that too on occasion.
My trucks, I remember I had a really nice pair of Indies, which were really expensive for trucks.
Independents? Yeah. I like those.
Yeah, I like my independent trucks. They held up really well. Like, I'm sure I sold my board to somebody.
I used to grind my trucks down so fucking far, but I don't think I ever snapped a truck. Apparently people do that sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anybody snap a truck, but I mean, I'm sure it could happen.
I'm not even sure I snapped a board before when I was skating. No, I think I did once when I was skating. It was like an old Veriflex.
Oh, yeah.
It was a friend's.
I did have a Featherlight board, an Element Featherlight board that was really nice. I really liked that.
Featherlights are nice, yeah.
It was a nice board. I didn't have.
I think I might have had a Featherlight at one point too. Yeah. Elements are nice. They were nice, and they're very light.
Board. Yeah. Elements were probably my favorite boards.
I used to be able to ollie up loading docks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I could. That's awesome. I could ollie really high, and I don't know.
That's badass.
Even without a Featherlight.
Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely helped.
Featherlights were sweet. I think that was really. I think I had some Spitfire bearings. Did they have? Bearings?
I'm sure they did.
I'm sure they did too. I don't know. It was either Spitfire.
Speed Demon. Speed Demon had bearings. I think it was like a little guy with like a helmet and horns sticking out of his helmet.
There was also Dark Star.
Yeah, see, Dark Star wasn't really a thing when I started skating.
Yeah.
But I started skating in like 97, 98.
I started skating, it was probably 03, 04. Dark Star had some really cool designs. I liked their boards a lot.
I didn't really like Dark Star designs. It was just the guy in a suit of armor, basically. Yeah. I was like, all right.
I don't know.
I kind of like World Industries for a while because they had Flame Boy and Wet Willie.
Yeah,
I always thought those were really cool mascots.
I had a buddy who really liked their stuff. Same buddy actually had a really like an affinity for things that were just like plain. So he had a plain. He had an au naturel board with clear grip tape and like white wheels, some like plain bearings, or not plain bearings, plain trucks. It was just like the plainest board you could ever see.
Fair enough.
And I don't know, that guy was hardcore. In 4th grade,
nice.
And well, he didn't do that in 4th grade.
Oh, okay.
This was more like 7th, 8th grade. But in 4th grade, we got new dictionaries, and he took one of the dictionaries and smacked it really hard up against his head and put a big crease down the middle of the front.
Dang.
Because they were hardbacks. They were nice new hardbacks.
Good Lord.
Like brand new 99, 2000, something like that. Edition dictionary, like Merriam-Webster dictionaries. And he just smacked his head hard up against it. And our teacher was like, all right, you're not allowed to use the brand new dictionaries anymore. You have to use the shitty old ones.
Your teacher said shitty to a 4th grader. Damn.
Yeah. No. She was not quite that hardcore.
Yeah.
She was like, you have to use the old ones.
Yeah, I had a buddy who used to take his textbook and smash it against his forehead when he had a headache.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how that solves the problem, but all right, man. That solves your problem. That solves your problem,
Whatever, dude. That's funny.
Nah, he's a good kid. No, what was your first real skateboard? Like, I had like a Veriflex, I think, and I skated on my next door neighbor's Nash. But I think my first real skateboard, like first deck anyway, was a Tony Hawk Full Skull from Birdhouse. I really liked that board.
I don't really
It was
remember
blue.
what my first board was.
It was a blue Full Skull.
Yeah? I don't remember what my first board was. It's been years, and
I never had a hookups board either. As much as I loved hookups, and I had like hookups T-shirts.
Yeah,
I never had a hookups board.
I liked their designs.
I liked hookups before I knew what anime was.
Yeah,
I think mostly because there were hot chicks with boobs on them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hot chicks with boobs on them.
Yeah. Or like crazy badass looking, like monsters and shit.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know I had some hookups tech decks. Those were cool.
Yeah,
I had some sweet hookups tech decks.
I miss tech decks.
I remember taking the grip tape off of one of the tech decks and putting some real grip tape on it, actually.
Awesome.
That did not work out very well.
I bet not. That's still cool, though.
Actually, I did it on a real tech deck. I was thinking that maybe I did it on like one of my shitty DBZ tech decks.
Okay.
Which weren't really tech decks. They were just like little shitty knockoffs.
Yeah.
And I just like taken some grip tape.
The skateboarding craze has really died down, hasn't it?
For the most part, I think. I mean, they still sell tech decks.
Do they?
So yeah, they still. Last time I checked, they still had tech decks.
Fair enough.
I actually almost bought some.
I haven't checked in a while.
A short while ago, probably like within the last 6 months. I was like, that would be fun to fuck around with.
That would be cool.
But I've probably still got them somewhere, so I really don't need to buy more.
Balls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really can't think of anything else I did in school.
I used to... Like, I would write programs for fun in C++.
See, but you had those classes. I never had access to that shit.
C++, yeah.
Well, C++ or any kind of programming at all.
Fair enough.
Like, that wasn't an option. We had, like, we had, like, ComArts.
You want a Twix?
No, that's fine. We had, like, ComArts in 7th and 8th grade. Like, ComArts and ComArts 2.
Okay.
And then we had, like, basically business classes in high school. Like, where you learned to write up, like, spreadsheets and shit. And format, like, memos and whatever else.
That's useful.
I guess? Like...
More useful than C++ and Visual Basic, really.
But I would rather know C++ and Visual Basic.
Fair enough.
Like, right now, like, anything that I needed to know how to write up, I could ask either my mom or whoever was employing me if I needed to know that. Like,
Or look it up online.
But like C++ and Visual Basic or Java or any of those things, I mean, I can look those up online and learn them. But I don't have like a facilitated hour and a half every other day or however long every day or whatever to do that. I have to actually make time to do those things. I have to do them on my own time. Whereas if I were in school, I would learn a lot more.
Do you have hour and a half classes every
We had
couple
hour
days?
and a half class. We had hour and a half classes. We had 8 classes total, but we only had 4 a day.
Huh.
We had 4 one day and then 4 the next day. It was quote unquote to set us up for college because we wouldn't have the same class every day. It was basically to put us on an honor system.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I liked it, but I also never did my homework, so I really didn't give a fuck.
See, we had 55-minute classes, and we had
that's how Joplin
6 or 7 a day.
That's how Joplin does it. I'm pretty sure. Which I didn't go to Joplin, so.
And we also had, over 2,000 students at school. So.
Yeah. I think
we had 3 different high schools. I don't know if I talked about that, but we on the podcast, anyways. We had 3 different high schools, 2 intermediates for 9th and 10th, and then 11th and 12th was at one building. I think I had over 1,000 people in my graduating class. And people up here find that insane.
That is pretty insane. My graduating class was under 250.
Yeah,
so
that's...
like, my graduating class was at least a quarter of yours.
See, I've been to a CJ... Graduation.
Yeah.
For my cousin.
And it
I loved how short it was.
Exactly.
God, that was awesome. You have 1,000 fucking kids walking up to the front and grabbing a diploma.
Oh my god. I can't even imagine how...
Or damn near 1,000. And the speeches from valedictorian, other people.
Did you guys have multiple valedictorians? Was your school set? Was your thing set up like that?
I don't think so. I think we just had one.
See, ours made up for that because ours made up for the length and the amount of students because we had like 4 valedictorians.
I think I do remember that. Yeah.
In my graduating class, we had like 4 valedictorians.
What was the top 4 students, or just like 4 students that they chose because of exemplary?
No, they all had 4.0s.
Okay.
They all had 4.0s. We didn't have like a 4.0, 4.1, 4.2.
You didn't have higher than that. 4.0 was the highest.
4.0 was the highest, and anybody who had a 4.0,
I'm pretty sure there were people in my school who had like 5.0.
Yeah. See, we didn't go above 4, and Webb City did too. Webb City actually had more. I think they did at least. I think they had the 4.0 wasn't the highest.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, I mean, we had like we literally had like 4 valedictorians because my best friend was one. And there was another one.
Yeah.
And that one. We had at least 3 that I can remember straight off the top of my head. And then we had, obviously, a salutatorian.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Well, the valedictorian is the person with the highest, and the salutatorian is usually the person with the second highest.
Okay, not
so
the
So
lowest.
like a 3.99 or whatever.
Okay.
3.9, I think, is usually...
I think it'd be much more interesting if they had, like, the person with the highest GPA and then the person with the lowest GPA. Both give speeches.
The person with the lowest GPA in my
school... Who
school
wasn't even graduating. They're like, hey, come on up here.
Either would not have graduated or wouldn't have written a speech.
Yeah.
Because I seriously had some stupid people. Like, I had under a 2... I think I had under, like, a 2.0, but I was nowhere near the stupidest person in my class.
No, I like to think I was GPA. One of the smartest smartest people.
Persons was a word.
Would it work? Okay.
I don't know that it would work there.
I was one of the smartest people in my class. I would like to think.
Yeah.
But, I had a low GPA because I didn't do my fucking homework.
Exactly. That's exactly how I was. I was nowhere near the stupidest. I was smarter than...
Yeah, I had to explain to people in, 9th or 10th grade? Or maybe it was 11th grade. Anyways, I had to explain to fellow classmates how to use the card catalog system in the library.
I think you told me that before. That's ridiculous.
And it wasn't even the actual card catalog. It was the electronic. You put it in. You type in the title and search for it on the computer.
I don't understand how people.
How can you not fucking know that? It's a fucking search engine.
Yeah, how do you fuck that up? Like, do you use Google? Do you use Dogpile? Do you use whatever?
Well, Google may not have existed back then.
Sure, but Dogpile, Yahoo.
Yeah.
AOL,
Lycos, Metacrawler, all those fucking things.
Any of those? Do you use any of those? Have you ever used any of those in your life? You use it the exact same fucking way.
How can you not do that?
How can you fuck that up?
Well, I also think I think what I might have really had to help him with was the Dewey Decimal System. But seriously, if it says 970 dot something, you just find 970
dot something.
Yeah, like if it says 800 to 1000, guess what? It's not just 800 and 1000. Exactly. There's the whole fucking range of shit in between there.
Exactly.
How is this hard? Granted, the people I helped explain this to were like football players and cheerleaders. Which is kind of an indictment on, sports in school.
Yeah.
They still put way too much fucking emphasis on sports in school, I think.
They do. I don't know. I don't know. There are some dumb people. And I don't even know how... I don't even know how to fix that. I don't even know how you would go about fixing that. I don't know. People are stupid.
Yeah.
People are stupid.
Yeah, I think that's basically what I did. Mostly was draw, and I may have written poetry. I don't know. I'm not sure. I was in my angsty teen phase back then.
Angsty. You had some angst.
You've read some of my old poetry.
I have read some of your old. Not really poetry. More.
Well, I did a lot of free-form poetry. I didn't like being shackled by rules.
Yes.
And I
don't like being shackled by rules. I'm a skateboarder.
I like prose. I did one thing in prose.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was okay. That was kind of just like an essay.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't actually read
that wasn't angsty. That was kind of jaded.
Jaded, and it came off as I mean,
did it?
It was pretty angsty.
Fair enough.
Really, I don't know. That's how I read it, but whatever. That's cool. We were all that angsty kid at one point or another. I don't think any of us can actually say that I was never an angsty kid. I'm pretty sure we've all been there. Anyway, I think we've kind of worn this one out.
I think you're probably right.
You got something else there, Spencer?
Yeah. Apparently, Missouri is one of, I guess, multiple states. I don't know if it's one of the few states or one of the majority of states, but we don't have a drug monitoring program.
What do you mean by drug monitoring?
What I mean is...
For me and our listeners who might not know what that
right.
is.
Apparently, what it would do is it would give maybe doctors and pharmacists... Let's see. Program would include a database allowing doctors and pharmacists to have access to who uses prescription drugs in Missouri and what they use. Right now, even if a pharmacist suspects the abuse of prescription drugs, there's no legal way to deny the drugs if the person has a prescription. So I'm guessing it would just be that, like, if, they think you could be abusing your drugs, your prescription drugs that you have been prescribed, they can stop you from getting that prescription.
The drug monitoring program.
Yeah.
Okay. They can't do that now.
No.
Okay.
And apparently they're trying to pass that. And I find that funny in a state that is so incredibly against monitoring who buys guns. Apparently prescriptions are far more dangerous.
I disagree.
And this is partially because, apparently, I finally remember now the reason I wanted to bring this up. They bring this up because there are a lot of people who abuse prescription meds and die from it.
Yeah.
I guess maybe, Heath Ledger, Michael Jackson, that may have just been, they took the wrong concoctions of prescription drugs and they reacted badly, maybe. But
I would say that there are a lot more cases of
people dying from prescription drugs.
Well, not only people dying, but people abusing prescription drugs and becoming dependent on those prescription drugs in an unhealthy way. Well, pretty much any dependency is unhealthy, but
you think there's more than people that do that than get shot in a year?
in general.
I think I read that there are like 1 million people who are shot with guns in the United States every year.
That seems like a really high statistic.
It does seem like a really high statistic, but
1 million?
1 million's a lot of people. But there's a lot of people in the U.S.
I don't know. I think
maybe million's a little high, but still, I mean, the people who abuse prescription meds are doing so by their own volition. The people who get shot probably generally aren't doing it because they want to get shot. They're doing it because the monitoring program for people who get guns is absolutely shit.
I disagree. I really do.
You don't agree?
I don't. I don't know. There are a lot of ways to get a false negative on getting a gun. Like, you can have the same name as somebody, like a really common name. If your name is Bob Smith and some other Bob Smith, like, I don't know, beat his wife or something.
Yeah.
You couldn't get a gun. You would not that you couldn't get one, but you could be flagged for not being able to get a gun for an indefinite amount of time, even if you've never done anything wrong in your life.
But why would you not have a social security number tied in with that?
Well, you do, but
then how the fuck would you fuck that up?
Because you could lie. Like, it's if you find another Bob Smith and you've got their social security number, somehow you steal it from them. Identity theft is a big thing.
Yeah, just tell your parents not to name you Bob Smith.
I'll get right on that.
Fucking that easy, man. Come on.
Whenever I'm born, I will tell my parents not to name me Bob Smith.
Fucking name yourself Optimus Prime. You know how many Optimus Primes there are in the world? Probably not many.
Probably more than you think, but still probably not many.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know if you have your name in there and you have what are the odds that if your name is Bob Smith and you want to own a gun so bad that you will find another person named Bob Smith and steal their fucking social?
I'm not saying that those people can't get guns. What I'm saying is that it's harder for them to get a gun, and that it's harder for them to do it legally. Right now, maybe not right now, but the state is doing what they can right now to withhold people from getting guns who shouldn't have guns.
No, they're not. They aren't doing shit. What are they doing?
They're doing anything within their power. I mean,
anything within their power, sure, guns. But that's the point. They need to change the laws so you can do more to prevent the crazies from getting guns.
And doing
at least have a psychological workup or something. Fuck.
It's hard to do a psychological workup for everybody. Why
for everybody who wants to own a gun, you have to walk in with a piece of paper with a seal on it that says...
How many psychiatrists are there in Joplin?
I don't know, maybe not many.
How
many people are going to buy a gun in one fucking day?
You're
not going to have like 800,000 people buy a gun in one day.
You're not going to have 800,000 people, but you're going to have several. And all that does is drive the market for psychiatrists up, which...
Good for them. I mean, increased business. People are getting help who need fucking help.
I disagrey.
I've discussed this before.
I think you're treating a symptom that isn't there. I think you're treating this. I think you're treating the sniffles when the person's got the flu. Like
how do you figure? I don't understand. Most of the people who do the big shootings, like obviously not gang violence and shit, but most of the people who go nuts and fucking do mass killings,
I would say that the vast majority of gun violence is gang related. I would go that far because
gang or drug related. I'm gonna say
gang and/or drug.
Yeah, I think probably a lot more of it has to do with drugs.
I think a lot more of it has to do with gangs than drugs.
Really?
Yes.
Not necessarily around here.
And how many times do you actually hear about gang violence?
Not a whole lot.
Exactly. How much gang violence do you think there is compared to how much there?
Well, in all fairness, we don't live in a place where there's a whole lot of gang violence, I don't think.
No, but there are plenty of things around here that we don't hear about because they're not little white girls who got shot.
Fair enough.
Like, some 50-year-old black dude gets shot around here. Who cares?
Yeah, I didn't even
like,
hear that.
I'm not saying that I don't care.
Yeah.
But, seriously, we're in fucking Southwest Missouri.
Yeah.
Nobody around here is realistically going to care, at least in a mass way.
Yeah.
And I mean no disrespect to black people for that.
Yeah, no, I understand
I'm just
what you're
saying
saying.
that you're a 50-year-old black person, nobody cares.
In Southwest Missouri,
in Southwest Missouri. There are a lot of racists around here. There are a lot of racists around here.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who don't care about other people, I guess.
Yeah.
And
we call them Republicans. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Fair enough. I don't know.
They're also generally the people who hate black people and gays.
All I'm saying, yeah, mostly gays. But yeah, I don't think that... I think that if you have one type of prejudice, you're prone to other types of prejudice.
That's fair.
So people who hate gays generally probably aren't a huge fans of blacks. And I'm not saying that they aren't, like they are racist outright, but they probably don't care as much. You know?
Yeah, for black people as they do white people.
As if it was a white person, a white 50-year-old compared to a black 50-year-old.
Yeah.
If you told 50 people, or you know, not 50, if you polled 100 people or however many, whatever, you're going to have a lot more people that care about the 50-year-old white person than the 50-year-old black person.
Why'd you put the emphasis on 50?
I don't know.
Okay.
I noticed that after I did it.
I was like, what are you doing?
On the 50-year-old black person,
okay.
White person, then the black person. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That generally people around here hate gay people. And not everybody, obviously. You and I are two people that don't hate gay people.
Yeah. I don't really care.
Full on for LGBT
you know what?
rights.
I don't think we've discussed this. We kind of touched on it in the first podcast, but we cut it out because Chance was kind of rambling.
Yeah.
And
ranting.
Kind of rambling and ranting, yeah. I don't care if people are gay. And Chance doesn't either.
I don't either.
You don't? No. You know, if you want to fuck someone in the ass who's willing to be fucked in the ass and you want to get your ass fucked, more power to you. Just don't try to do it to me. I don't think I would be into that. I wouldn't, really enjoy myself.
I don't think I would enjoy that experience.
That being said, heterosexual butt sex, not bad. Not bad. Moving on.
But no, like, I don't know. You just have more people who are prejudiced around here. We live in a good...
so are you saying that around here...
We live in the Bible Belt.
Are you saying that around here racial violence takes the place of gang violence?
I wouldn't necessarily want to go that far. Like, I don't think we have a lot of hate crime.
No,
I'm just saying that if there is gang violence or racial violence, it's not going to be as...
I feel like racial violence is not as prevalent around here as it is in Mississippi or Georgia. And I feel like it's probably not even as prevalent now as it used to be.
I would say, well, and also...
I never hear about it anymore.
We don't live in an area where there's going to be a lot of that. We live in a fairly, like... When you see a black person in Joplin, you're... Not to be racist, but you're kind of surprised. Because there aren't a lot of black people around here.
And you know what's weird is they're usually pretty gangster around here.
I think that's just culture.
Think?
I really do. And I also don't think a lot of them are from around here. I think they're probably from other places and they move here or whatever.
Like KC or St. Louis?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great example. Because it's cheaper to live here than it is.
It's a lot cheaper here than it is in big cities.
Well, pretty much anywhere. I would say Joplin is one of the lowest income, or the lowest, not income.
The lowest cost of living places, yeah.
Places in the U.S. I mean, realistically. I don't know.
That's Grody McBooger balls.
But you've also got, like, Kansas City, 2 hours north of us.
Yeah.
And Kansas City, 2 hours north of us, probably has a lot more gang violence. But we just don't hear about it because...
It's 2 hours north of us.
Well, it's 2 hours north of us.
Is it only 2 hours north? Isn't it like 3 or 4?
No.
Wow.
It's 2. It's 2 the way I drive. It's probably 2.5 the way you drive.
Fair enough.
But, yeah, I mean, one, it's not relevant to us because it's 2 hours north of us. And 2, it's Kansas City. It's also gang violence, so they probably don't want to broadcast that they've got gang violence.
Yeah.
Missouri's kind of, in my eyes, it's kind of growing as a state. Is in
kind of growing in size?
In population. There are more people moving here because it's cheap to live here. For us, it's more the tornado.
The weather's not too bad.
The weather's not terrible. It's not cold.
Tornadoes kind of suck.
Too crazy cold. It's not too crazy
hot.
Well,
sometimes it does get really cold here.
Sometimes it also gets crazy hot.
Yeah.
But in general, the climate is fairly moderate.
Yeah, we have nice seasons too.
We do. We have nice season definition.
Well, sometimes.
But again, there's
tornado, also the times where it fucking snows in April.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
That is completely true. But the tornado is bringing a lot of people in.
I think
There's
so.
A lot of new housing
like I feel like that. I see a lot of license plates from like just crazy ass states that you're like.
I see a lot of Texas recently.
I see Texas.
Like in the last year and a half, I've noticed like
lots of different license plates.
Like double or 4 or even 5 or 6 times.
Texas, huh?
Texas, yeah. Specifically Texas. Like I see others occasionally, but Texas. If I don't see a Missouri license plate, it's generally a Texas license plate. And I mean, Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Not too many Arkansas, actually.
Yeah.
More Oklahoma and Kansas. Around here, Kansas.
Well, you can see Kansas every single day, though.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And Oklahoma. We're so fucking close.
Yeah. I'm sure there are people that commute.
I don't see Arkansas quite as much.
I don't see Arkansas quite as much either. Arkansas is a beautiful state, though.
I like Arkansas. I really do.
It's so beautiful.
I've only really been to Eureka Springs. Like, that's where I spent most of... I went to a jazz festival down in Eureka Springs.
We should take, like, a day trip.
Down to Eureka Springs?
Eureka Springs, or even, like,
I went down to the border. You know, I used to work in Macadoodles.
Oh,
That's a local place.
Okay.
And before I worked there before they opened. And I had to go down to their first original store for training.
Yeah.
And it's right over the border in Arkansas somewhere.
Yeah, it's like right.
Yeah,
it's probably like half an hour away.
It's not too far away.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, all I've been to is Eureka Springs, and I like that little. Basically, the entire town is like a really quaint main street with little knickknacks and hippie shops and stuff like that. Yeah. It's very counterculture city, and I like that.
Yeah. I like driving to Fayetteville because you just go through all those mountains.
I like the big rock walls on both sides. Those are so cool.
We've got those in Missouri too.
Not as many though. It seems like.
If you go to Neosho or something like that, if you go a little, what is that, to the south? A little bit to the south of us.
Yeah.
Like if you go down south, I mean, of course that's going into Arkansas territory just about.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even still, you're going through those big rock walls, and I kind of like that.
Yeah,
it's neat.
Pretty neat.
But Arkansas is just a beautiful state. I can't say enough good things about how I love the just nature in that state. And I'm not a big nature fan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big fan of being outside. But if I lived in Arkansas, holy shit would I be outside. Like, it's just nice.
Yeah.
It's just nice looking, hilly. It's not boring and flat. We're too close to Kansas.
I was getting ready to say that a few minutes ago. That's probably why we don't have as many hills.
Oh, man. Well, and we've got some, but our hills aren't like just like mountains or whatever. Like it's not really mountains in Arkansas either, but it's more like Branson.
Yeah. It's
more like Branson with more like rocky stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just nice.
And see, that's one of the things I really like. I mean, even Oklahoma, there are quite a few hills and stuff like that. Yeah. And I keep wondering why I never see anything like this. In Tulsa, I used to live in an apartment complex. Mm-hmm. Basically, it was at least they had several different apartment styles.
Yeah.
The one I lived in, you walk in the door downstairs. To the right's a bedroom and a bathroom, and then you walk upstairs, and there's a loft area with your kitchen and your dining room, and there's a wood-burning fireplace in there, and then there's the balcony, and the balcony you can see pretty much over Tulsa, because the entire complex is on a huge fucking hill.
That's really cool.
I always thought that was so badass, and I've been trying to find something like that around here in the past.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that around here. Nothing built on a huge fucking awesome hill.
Sadly, there's not that much around here.
It's disappointing.
You could go to Arkansas.
I guess you could buy the castle.
Yeah. You're still not going to see much, though.
You don't think?
Like that, you can't hardly see that castle through the trees.
That's true. There are a lot of trees.
There are a lot of trees, and I don't know, that whole area is kind of out of the way.
Yeah, that's true. It's not in Joplin, so.
No, it's...
Reddings.
Yeah, Reddings Mill. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That I just like the layout of Arkansas. And if you go northeast towards St. Louis,
mm-hmm.
it looks really nice too. Like if you go northeast towards St. Louis, you've got a lot of that hill area, lots of just green area. Lots of green. Just all over. Like all along I-44 up towards St. Louis. Yeah. You've got places where the highway will actually split.
I've only been in
for the east and westbound traffic, and you'll just go around this big hill, and there'll be this big hill in between the highway. And
that's kind of cool.
You can't see the other cars.
That's awesome.
It is really neat. I really like it. It's a really cool drive.
I've only been up there a handful of times, so I don't.
To drive.
I think one of the few times I've been up there was when I was on my way to Chicago.
Yeah.
With Chance, and so I wasn't really paying too much attention up there.
That's one of the few times I've personally driven up to St. Louis. I've only driven to St. Louis a handful of times. I could probably count it on one hand.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to go to Chicago again at some point.
Going to Chicago would be neat. Hell, going to St. Louis would be neat. Hell, going anywhere would be neat. As long as I was going with people.
Yeah. I don't think I could spend a week in Chicago.
No.
But like a couple days. Yeah.
A few days. It'd be neat to go and just hang. Be cool to take Chance along so we can like have somebody show us around to places that we... Because he lived there for like a year. So he could show us some really cool shit.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Well, you know, he went up to... when I went with him, he went to visit a girl.
Yeah.
Who was up there. And that was before he went to school up there, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was... that's fun. We went and saw a giant mirror bean.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
The thing is really cool.
And ate at some weird fucking jungle-themed restaurant. I don't fucking know.
I would like to go back to the pizza place we ate at because it was really nice.
Yeah.
It was really good pizza. We had authentic Chicago deep dish. Good shit. I can't eat deep dish anymore unless it's from Chicago.
Really?
Because it's just not as good.
Damn.
I tried to.
I kind of almost don't want Chicago pizza now because.
Well, Chicago pizza and Chicago deep dish are two different things.
Well, still, I don't want deep dish pizza then. What if
deep dish is just so good?
You can never have it again.
You couldn't have it around here. You could probably replicate it at home if you liked homemade pizza.
Fair enough.
Like you could probably find a
homemade pizza is pretty good, but it's never quite the same.
I can't eat homemade pizza. I'll just come out and say it. Maybe it's just my parents because they like thin crust. And I'm against all things thin crust.
It's
disgusting.
Why would you make thin crust pizza?
I don't know why you would make pizza and not put any pizza sauce on it.
Just see. Here's my thing with
if I want,
do people do that?
Yeah. Why? There's like no sauce on my parents' pizza. But
that's weird.
If I just wanted some bread and some toppings, I would eat a sandwich or I would eat a cracker because that's like. It's like cracker thickness and brittleness.
I'll tell you how you fucking make a pizza, a thin crust pizza at home. You fucking take matzo bread.
I've never heard of that.
Matzo bread is basically, or matzo crackers, I think. It's basically just unsalted, unleavened bread.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about kosher crackers, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. My friend used to have some sort of crackers at his house that were like pretty much unsalted. And he was like, they're Jewishly okay for Jewish. No, he was Catholic, which was weird.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
They're kosher.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Doesn't matter, we're Catholic. Whatever.
I mean, basically if you want to stick a piece of bread in a toaster and toast it for a few minutes and then put spaghetti sauce on it, then you've got yourself a fucking flat, a thin crust pizza.
You know what we used to have in school that was amazing? We used to have pita pizza.
Huh.
It was pita bread and then like pizza sauce.
Yeah.
And then like some mozzarella cheese and like pepperoni. Or whatever the topping was. And it was really, really good.
Cool.
Because you could like fold it like New York pizza and eat it.
That's kind of cool.
And New York pizza's the shit. Holy shit.
I remember having I don't even remember the name of it, but they had little circular pizzas when I was in like 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was 9th. They were just little circles.
Uh-huh.
But they were about this thick.
We had some of those too.
And it was fucking amazing because they were just so greasy and so good.
Yeah, that's exactly what ours were like. They had
was it like Stone something?
I don't think they had a name.
Okay,
it was
they
just
had a name. I just don't remember it.
It was just something that the school cafeteria made every day, and they had them.
They actually bought it from some place.
I'm sure ours did too.
But it was fucking amazing.
But I mean, they had to have been pre-made for as good as they were.
Yeah, they were so fucking good.
But they had them to purchase every day for like $1.50 or $2 or something like that. Maybe it was like $2.50. I don't remember. School lunch was ridiculously expensive for what it was. But yeah, it was like $2.50 for a little pizza, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was really good.
You know what I'm actually kind of disappointed about?
What's that?
Well, since the tornado, I'm disappointed that a lot more places haven't rebuilt. Because we don't have a Dillon's anymore. I like Dillon's. Even if they built a Kroger here, that's the same fucking company. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
They haven't built the Arby's back on Range Line.
Yeah.
That was the fucking Arby's in Joplin. You have to go to fucking Webb City to fucking go get Arby's now.
Right.
It's inconvenient.
It is.
And, I'm sitting here bitching. People lost their lives, but still. And, considering how much space the tornado wiped out, how many places are for sale now, you'd think we would have businesses clamoring to be here.
Supposedly we're getting a Chipotle.
What the fuck is a Chipotle, and why do I care?
It's Qdoba.
We have a Qdoba.
It's basically it's Qdoba or Moe's.
I don't like Moe's that much. I like Qdoba much better.
See, I like Moe's better. I like Qdoba just fine.
Yeah.
I could do without some of their stuff, but
yeah,
I like Moe's better.
I think we discussed that, the lime taste on the tortilla chips.
Yeah, they've got like
fucking
a lime
love
salt.
It. Oh, it's so
not,
good.
It's not bad, but it doesn't add anything for me. Like, it's not.
See, I like lime.
I like lime just fine. I don't have anything against lime at all.
Okay. See, that just added a little twang for me. That was like just
I don't know. It's a weird taste when I'm trying to eat some cheese and some meat.
Yeah.
And whatever else, guacamole, sour cream.
I mean, we've got some weird ass places here that you'd think, for a town this big, we don't have this place, but we have this place. How does that work? Like, we don't have a Fridays, like a TGI Fridays.
I want a TGI,
but we have
Fridays
a fucking
so
Outback.
Bad.
You know when the last time I ate at Outback was?
I don't know.
I don't fucking know either. It hasn't been recently.
My dad used to like to eat at Outback.
I loved eating at Outback. Alligator tails, fucking great, man.
We went to Outback one time.
One time this happened. Alligator tail, I don't remember.
One time this happened.
Yeah.
We went to Outback, and they had swordfish as the catch of the day.
That's pretty boss.
It was fucking awesome. Best fish I have ever had, hands down. Swordfish.
Wow.
Fucking delicious.
Good to know. I might actually have to try swordfish.
Oh man, if you can ever find it, fucking try it. Because it was the best fish I've ever had, hands down.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe it was just the novelty of it that I knew I was eating swordfish.
That could have been.
But seriously, good fish. I mean, this was also probably upwards of 10 years ago.
Okay.
But still, like...
But yeah, we don't have a Fridays. What the fuck?
I would love to have a Fridays.
You know,
because we keep having fucking commercials for Fridays.
Right?
All over goddamn TV.
Right? We have fucking chilies. We have chilies or we have peppers.
We don't have either. We've got Ruby Tuesdays.
No, there's something else over there. Over by there.
We've got Ruby... What's over there? Ruby
Steak
Tuesday,
and Shake. We have a fucking Steak and Shake.
Yeah, we have Ruby Tuesday, Steak and Shake. There's a Cheddar's.
Cheddar's, thank you. That's it. I don't like Cheddar's that much.
I don't think I've ever eaten there.
I've eaten there several times. One of the time was before a prom I went to, and I got sick.
Awesome.
Yeah, so...
Great. So you didn't get
Subsequently,
laid.
I'm not a huge fan of Cheddar's. No, I still got laid.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Good information. Anyway, we've got Olive Garden. We've got Outback, as you've said. I don't know. I think
that's about it. Yeah.
But still, like, I would love
and a Bob Evans.
You know what? I would love to have a fucking Chili's.
I don't even want a Chili's.
Love
it's
Chili's.
Okay. I want a Fridays and I want a Bennigan's. I want a motherfucking Bennigan's. I fucking love Bennigan's.
I've never.
I just love the name Bennigan's.
I bet you do.
It's fucking badass Irish name.
Sounds like a Dane
Bennigan's.
Thing.
Bennigan's. He talks about Bennigan's.
I thought
who loves their sampler.
That's right. Okay.
No, the first and only time I've ever been to Bennigan's, I basically just got drunk there. Didn't really do anything else there. But I was under 20. I think I was under 21, and I went to the school with the girl who was the bartender, and my buddy knew the girl anyways. So I had a whatever shot, which was like triple sec 151 and pineapple juice.
Oh yeah.
And it's mixed in such a way that it just tastes like pineapple juice. But with the triple sec and 151, not only is it 151 and triple sec, but you're mixing your lights and your darks. I took a shot. I think I might have had a beer too, but I just took the shot and I was like, I don't feel anything. And 5 minutes later, he's like, all right, we're gonna go back and to the house and party some more. I'm like, all right, I gotta use the bathroom. And I stood up and I was like, holy fuck. Because I was fucking, I just stood up and instantly I was fucking tipsy. I was like, this is the best shot ever. And so I went to the bathroom, had a very difficult time with that. Not going to the bathroom, like walking to the bathroom, because there were stairs.
Oh, shit.
I was like, oh, there's steps.
That's bad.
You know what's worse than a set of stairs? Like 2 steps. That's horrible when you're drunk.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just 2, but you're just like, why? What, can you have a ramp or something? Fuck, man. 2 fucking stairs.
Oh, man. I can't deal with a step down out of a door when I'm drunk.
Really? Yeah, it is kind of hard.
It's a bad time.
You're like, is that 5 feet down or is that like 6 inches? I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna jump and
really
take a chance. It's not really that
bad, but still.
Yeah.
Like, it's sometimes they'll get me. I don't know.
We got way off the topic of fucking.
We did. We very much did.
Yeah, drug monitoring programs. But you're for a drug monitoring program and against any sort of gun control.
No, I'm not against gun control.
Okay.
I just don't think
you just don't think it's as big an issue.
I don't think it's as big of an issue. Exactly. Like, I don't know.
Fair enough. I really basically just thought of the tagline, yeah, guns don't kill people, prescription drugs kill people. Good one. And I thought that was a really funny tagline. So I wanted to talk about it.
Fair enough.
So I could toss that out there.
I don't know. I think that prescription drugs are a lot more accessible to the average person.
Oh, I disagree. You have to go to the doctor. You have to be prescribed a medication. You can just fucking walk into Walmart and walk out with a fucking gun. It's that fucking easy.
You're walking out with like a shotgun at this point.
You can kill people with a fucking shotgun or a pistol.
A rifle, not a pistol.
You can't walk out with a pistol?
Yes, but the shootings that generally happen are with handguns, not rifles. Because rifles are inconvenient. Rifles are large.
They're hard to conceal.
You can't just walk into somewhere with them and be like, oh, well, that guy's not doing anything, should he?
No, you can walk out.
If a guy walked in here with an AR-15, I wouldn't be like, oh, hey, dude, what's up? And then he just shoots us. Like, we probably wouldn't even get that out of our mouths before he shot us. But, like, seriously, like, he couldn't walk in here and we'd be like, well, that feller can't be a strange character. Like, he's just carrying an AR-15. Like, he can't conceal his gun.
That's why I'm curious. Why do you need an AR-15? Why does anyone need an AR-15?
An AR-15 is a rifle range. It is a modern-day rifle range. Range rifle. It's basically the equivalent of what people used to use to shoot, like, small rodents.
An AR-15?
Yes, an AR-15. Do you even know what an AR-15 is?
Apparently not.
Yes, exactly. That is everyone's problem with an AR-15.
I hear AR, and I think AR stands for assault rifle.
It does not stand for assault rifle. It stands for the company name that originally came up with the AR-15. It looks like it is a long rifle, and it kind of has the visuals of an assault rifle, but it is not an assault rifle.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's not an assault rifle?
It is not an assault rifle. It is semi-automatic. Every time you pull
it's got a fucking bipod on it.
So?
Look at that sight.
So do many, many rifles that are used for hunting deer.
Look at that handle.
Okay.
That is a modern combat rifle.
No.
Yes, that is.
No.
Lightweight, 5.56 millimeter. How do you need a fucking 5.56 to shoot fucking rodents? Are you fucking kidding me? Magazine-fed, semi-automatic rifle with a rotating lock bolt. Actuated by direct impingement gas operation. It's gas operated. That's a fucking assault rifle. I don't give a fuck what you say.
You don't know what any of that means.
The select fire version of the AR-15 entered the U.S. military system as the M16 rifle. It's a fucking M16.
No, it is not.
How is that not? How does that not say that is an M16? It entered. The AR-15 entered the U.S. military system as the M16 rifle.
M16s are burst fired, for one.
Well, you can actually select the fire, I think.
Sure, you can select the fire. Burst fire is a little bit more...
Do you know how easy it is to make this burst or fully automatic?
You have to buy the... Yes, you have to buy the parts and know what you're doing.
You can fucking figure out how to do it on the internet. It is not hard. 20 years ago, yeah, sure, maybe buy an AR-15 for fucking shooting rodents on a ranch. No, now you're not doing it for that. You're doing it to kill people.
No, you're not.
Or just to have an AR-15, because in all fairness, it would be badass to own a fucking assault rifle. I want an MP5 Navy. I always have since I played Call of Duty. Like the first.
You want an MP5 Navy?
The first Modern Warfare.
You're sitting here ripping on AR-15s for being a semi-automatic single-shot rifle.
Well, but see, mine's not to kill people or for home defense. Mine is to go into the woods and have secret, like, special operations.
Yeah, sure.
Because that makes much more sense.
Exactly.
No, like, Chance has told the story about how he went to the falls and got fucking jumped.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what I would do if I had an MP5 Navy? I would get MP5 Navy with a suppressor. I would get, like, a little SOCOM or USP with a suppressor. I would put black outfit on and go sit in the woods, wait for somebody to jump someone else with a gun. And then I'd walk out with my gun, and I'd scare the fuck out of them so that they would never want to do that again.
I bet that would happen. That is exactly how that would happen. And it would happen all the time, too. It would never happen just once.
It should happen just once.
Maybe
Fuck.
once in your lifetime.
It should happen just once.
It probably wouldn't even happen
if
once
somebody
in your
thinks
lifetime.
there's some secret agent motherfucker out in the fucking woods, yeah, I wouldn't go back.
Yeah.
I just like the compact submachine gun MP5 Navy look. It's a good looking gun.
Sure. I like the AR-15 look.
Fair enough.
I
also like the M16. It looks really neat. In the fucking army, you dick. Fucking tell me shit. No, but I can understand why people want it. I mean, especially honestly, in today's culture, kids.
The reason that I don't have an AR-15 is because if I needed to use it, it wouldn't be practical. Because, for one, my room's right there. So pulling an AR-15 out of not my room because it wouldn't be in there because it's too accessible in my room.
Yeah.
It would be in the basement where I would have a gun safe.
Yeah.
That nobody would know the combination to except for me.
You could keep a gun safe in your room, couldn't you?
No.
No?
I could, yes, but I would not.
Why?
I just wouldn't. There's no practical way to bolt it to the wall.
Do you need to bolt it to the wall?
Yeah. If you don't bolt it to the wall, people can just walk out of your house with it if you're gone for a long period of time.
That's fair, I guess. Never really thought about that.
Yes. These are all things that I have researched because I want an AR-15.
Fair enough.
For maybe not necessarily
just to take it down to the range and shoot it would be fun.
Take it down to the range, or if whatever happens, like...
I guess, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna if you have a home intruder, why would you want to shoot him with a pistol when you can shoot him with an AR-15?
No, if somebody was to come into my house right now, I would, if I thought it was feasible, I would go into my room and get my gun.
Yeah.
And either shoot them or scare them away. Like, that's what I would do. But if for whatever
people are
reason,
going to be a lot more scared of an AR-15 than they are a pistol, I think.
Yeah. Also, a shotgun. A shotgun is the best home defense weapon you could ever have. Because you would probably, if you would ever have to fire it, the person would literally be insane. Because the first thing you do whenever you get a shotgun and you think somebody's in the house is you pump that motherfucker. You pump that motherfucker loud. Because if you hear a shotgun, I don't give a fuck. If I heard a shotgun right now, if I heard a shotgun being pumped right now, I would shit my pants.
Fair enough.
Because I know it's not you, I know it's not me, and I know it's somebody outside of my house or in my house.
Yeah.
And they are going to either bust into my house or do something with it.
Yeah.
Because chances I have a shotgun.
You're not pumping a shotgun for the fuck of it.
Exactly. You're not just pumping a shotgun to be pumping a shotgun. You're pumping a shotgun to either scare the shit out of somebody or to do some harm.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that is the best home defense weapon you could get is a shotgun. But an AR-15 is a neat rifle gun or a neat range gun.
Yeah.
It really is. It's fun to go out and shoot them. They can be crazy accurate. Like you can shoot a cluster within like an inch of each other with some decent, like you're not going to go bang 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 and shoot an inch cluster, but you can take some time and shoot really accurately with them.
Yeah. And so I'm fucking sitting here talking shit about the AR-15. I'd like to own a Mosin Nagant eventually.
Those are like $100.
They're pretty cheap, yeah.
They're like $100, $200.
I just want a high power rifle that I can put a 20 times zoom scope on and shoot really far.
High power rifle. They're just. I think
they're just a good.
I think they're just a 22.
Yeah, really? That's it?
I think so. I think it's a. They're fun to shoot because they're bolt action.
Yeah,
and they're also.
I like sniping in video games.
Bolt actions are really cool.
And I want to be able to snipe.
There's nothing like sitting there, aiming up, taking a shot, and then using the bolt action, and then shooting again. Like it's just a neat feel. I enjoy doing that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I've done it on big rifles and I've done it on a Mosin type gun. I don't know if it was a Mosin, but it was a small Mosin type, and it was fun. Like there's like relatively no recoil.
Okay, so I guess there are different sniper classes of the weapon. So
I'm sure
that's fair.
There are probably some with longer barrels. You could probably outfit one to have a larger, I don't know, bullet size, firing capacity. But the one I shot was a 22. Like, it was nothing to shoot that thing.
Fair enough. It looks like it shoots 7.62.
Okay. I don't know.
Times 54 millimeter
rounds. The only other rifle I've ever shot, the only other long rifle I've ever shot, other than an AR-15, which I wouldn't really call it I guess it is. It's more of a black rifle than a long rifle.
Yeah.
But I shot a 308, and that thing was fucking just a beast.
Yeah, 308s are pretty.
Monsters. I didn't like shooting it.
Really?
I wasn't a fan. It's not that I didn't like shooting it. Like, it was fun to shoot, but it was a bitch to aim with because the fucking thing is so goddamn heavy.
Really?
And the recoil is just ridiculous. I think it was also kind of cold whenever I shot it. So
yeah, it would suck. Yeah.
But still, like, I don't know. It was a fun rifle to shoot, but it's not practical for anything.
No,
that you would do.
Like I said,
unless you're a hunter,
take it out for a range. Well, I wouldn't want to shoot anything with a high-powered rifle. You fucking may as well just be wasting your whatever, you know.
That's true.
People hunt for trophies, don't they?
Yeah.
Or for food.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be okay if you were hunting for food.
Yeah.
But if you want to hang up something on your wall,
well,
if you shoot it in the wrong place, you're not going to have much to shoot, hang up.
Right.
But yeah, I'm talking shit about the AR-15 here, but I fucking want a sniper rifle.
Yeah. No, I honestly,
the only gun I've ever really shot, the only real gun I've ever shot, I think, was a little 22. Just a little fucking rifle. 22s
are, from what I've heard, they're fun to shoot. The only one I've ever shot is the Mosin bolt action thing that I shot. I dicked around with a little bit. I shot at something on the ground. I think it was like a can or something like that.
Yeah, see, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and I took last time I was out at the range, there was actually a can out behind the posts where we were shooting at the targets, and I was making that can jump all behind there. Like it was a lot of fun, and it was 25 yards. At 25 yards, I was making a can dance with a pistol. And not even like a big pistol. It's a subcompact pistol, or it's a compact pistol. So, yeah. I mean, it's not terribly crazy accurate, but yeah, I don't know. It was fun. You should come out and shoot sometime.
I would like to.
I mean, it's just a 9mm. It's not much, but anyway,
that's a good episode where Steven Spielberg and George Lucas are raping Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Well, I was talking about how the fact, they keep revisiting their old movies and they're fucking raping them.
Oh, right. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note.
Yeah.
I think
it's about time to call it a podcast.
Yeah, call it a podcast.
And call us a podcast. Wow. Yeah,
Don't call it a podcast.
We really kind of rambled there for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Well, thanks again for coming, guys. Hopefully the audio is a lot better now because I'm using the fucking correct microphone instead of my laptop mic.
Maybe we can actually do some tests now before we start.
Yeah.
Not just be overzealous and shove our dicks in some girl's asshole. She not want anal?
No, chicks should totally want anal. Let's not talk about that. That was me being naughty.
Anyway, you should like our podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yep.
Favorite also. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and give us a +1 on Google+. And if anybody wants to chat with us on Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
Wow, I dropped the ball there. You totally pimped that shit.
Yeah.
Pimped our shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to do all the stuff he said.
Yeah.
And
tell us something you want to hear us talk about. Maybe a game you want us to play.
Yeah. All sorts of fun shit.
Yeah. We'll do whatever. We're crazy.
Yeah. If you want us to shave our testicles, probably won't do that.
If you don't come down here in the next 20 minutes, I will slam my penis in the door of a luxury sedan.
I am that crazy.
I am that crazy. Don't you touch my suspenders.
That's good stuff. Like I said, everybody... Did we mention that in the first podcast or the second podcast?
I don't know that we mentioned it.
Everyone needs to watch Dr. Tran.
100% Ice.
Yeah, 100% Ice Part 3.
You spread that 100% Ice brand. Nah, watch all three of them.
Watch all three of them. Yeah, that is fucking great.
The third one's the best, but all three of them are funny.
Yeah, anyways.
We'll catch you next time.
End of podcast?
Yeah.
End of podcast. Peace.
See ya.